In the 1960s, American automakers were in a heated competition to build the most powerful, fastest muscle cars. It was all about raw speed and performance, and some truly iconic vehicles came out of this era. So let's check out the top 10 muscle cars that dominated the quarter-mile track back in the day. Let's start off at number 10, with the 1968 Shelby GT500 KR, 13.9 seconds. With a quarter-mile time of 13.9 seconds, the 1968 Shelby Cobra GT500 KR, aptly nicknamed King of the Road for its intimidating initials, was a formidable vehicle that looked even more terrifying than it actually was. Despite its intimidating presence, its performance was equally impressive, making it a true force to be reckoned with. It's not unusual for kings to have forerunners. The 1967 GT500 did that job spectacularly, propelled by the phenomenal 428 CID Police Interceptor V8. But in comparison to GM and Mopar dragstrip competitors, Ford's ponies remained heavier and underpowered. However, the 1968 GT500 with a Cobra Jet engine had a contrasting narrative. The cylinder heads and intake manifolds were taken from the Le Mans winning 427 side oiler. The mill's output was limited to 335 horses on paper, indicating that it was not as fast as the previous model. Severely underestimated, it was a nonsensical prank on insurance companies. The KR featured a 3.5-to-1 ratio rear gear suitable for the streets, along with a top-loader 4-speed manual transmission that could propel it to 60 miles an hour in 6.5 seconds. Quite an impressive achievement for its time. The KR could achieve a maximum velocity of 140 miles per hour. Based on its performance figures, it is probable that the King had a power output of more than 400 horses and 440 pound-feet of torque. Number 9. The 1969 Pontiac GTO Judge, 13.9 seconds. John DeLorean's awesome gift to America in the 1960s was the GTO Judge. The Judge got its name from a funny TV character, but it was a strong competitor in the budget muscle car battles of the late 1960s. This car has aged like fine wine and now has a passionate fan base. In addition to its rarity, the Pontiac Judge GTO comes equipped with a standard powerful Ram Air 3 V8 engine, which produces 366 horsepower. However, the 370 horsepower Ram Air 4 engine was also available and packed some serious race car spec hardware. It was equipped with a high lift camshaft and aluminum intake manifold and high flow cylinder heads for the exhaust ports. These high performing characteristics worked together to speed up the GTO Pontiac Judge from 0 to 60 in less than 6.5 seconds and complete the quarter-mile race in 13.9 seconds. Number 8. The 1968 Chevrolet Camaro Z28 RS, 13.8 seconds. The 1968 Chevrolet Camaro saw a few modifications from the previous model, but they were primarily cosmetic enhancements such as a sharper front grille and split taillights. The suspension received some improvements such as new mounting points for the rear shocks to address wheel hop, and performance models saw the addition of a multi-leaf rear spring replacing the single leaf on previous models. Chevrolet asserted that the Z28 was limited to 290 horsepower and 290 pound-feet of torque in order to ensure the Camaro could compete in the Trans Am Racing Series. Actually, the Z28 produced nearly 400 horsepower and was able to accelerate from 0 to 60 in 5.3 seconds. Although the 1969 Chevy Camaro Z28's 302 Ci V8 engine was not as large as other muscle cars of the era, it still packed a powerful punch. The enhanced suspension and limited slip differential made it perfect for accelerating quickly from a standstill, resulting in an impressive 13.8 second quarter-mile sprint time. This places it on par with vehicles that had higher horsepower during that period, but its relatively low power places it closer to the beginning of this list. Number 7. The 1969 Plymouth Cuda 440, 13.8 seconds. The 1969 Plymouth Cuda 440 is a high-performance Plymouth that stands out as one of the quickest muscle cars from the 1960s. The dragster was highly popular due to its large 7.2-liter V8 engine, allowing it to reach 60 miles per hour in only 5.5 seconds. Hurst installed the powerful engine with a limited production of just 358 units of the beast. A 4-speed automatic transmission delivered the power to the wheels, and a special limited slip differential guaranteed that the power from the huge engine could be fully utilized. There was a significant issue with this vehicle though. Approximately 57% of its weight was concentrated on the front axle, impacting its ability to corner effectively. Yet, few could hold a candle to it in the straight line. Achieving a quarter-mile run in under 14 seconds with a 440 Ci V8 engine is challenging, but the 1969 Plymouth Hemi Cuda 440 lived up to expectations. Number 6. The 1968 Pontiac GTO Royal Bobcat, 13.8 seconds. This is another fine example of a powerful Pontiac GTO, all thanks to a dealer. Back in the day, all you needed was $650. The standard 400 engine got swapped with a more powerful 428 V8 in the 1968 GTO. But you can say the improvement was not superficial and necessitated extensive engine enhancements. The most detailed adjustments involved cutting 0.025 inches from the bottom of every cylinder head and fitting specific thin gaskets. In order to maximize this achievement, the compression was raised and the ignition distributor was modified. These adjustments, along with several others, resulted in a 0 to 60 time of 5.2 seconds. While a 1969 Pontiac GTO was already pretty potent, brand tuner Royal Pontiac felt it had more potential. Royal made changes to the front and rear suspension of the GTO in addition to fitting a bigger 428 Ci V8 engine for improved launching capability. The GTO Royal Bobcat, equipped with a 4-speed manual transmission, was able to race a quarter mile in just 13.8 seconds. Eager to maintain its street appeal, Royal opted not to modify the standard vinyl and wood interior, ensuring a comfortable racing experience. Number 5. The 1969 Hurst Oldsmobile 442, 13.7 seconds. Feeling the 1969 Olds 442 had untapped potential, Hurst, a well-known gearbox designer, decided to upgrade it. By making use of the brand's most powerful engine, the massive 455 Ci V8, the Hurst 442 delivered 390 horsepower and an impressive 500 pound-feet of torque to the ground. This was connected to one of Hurst's 4-speed gearboxes and a 3.23 rear axle, which contained a limited slip differential. All these improvements enabled the 442 to complete the quarter mile in 13.7 seconds, while its famous white and gold design also helped make it one of the most attractive muscle cars of the 60s, not forgetting it was one of the quickest too. Number 4. The 1969 Dodge Charger RT Hemi, 13.5 seconds. Very few muscle cars are as legendary as the second-gen Dodge Charger. Certainly, any individual who grew up in the 1980s will certainly recall the iconic orange 1969 Charger known as General Lee that executed incredible stunts on the popular TV series The Dukes of Hazzard. The second-generation Charger gained its prominent status in pop culture largely because of its distinctive Coke bottle shape, a bold departure from the original design. While Chrysler's renowned 426 cubic inch Hemi V8 was the most powerful engine in the 1969 Charger, a lot of fans believed that the 440 cubic inch Magnum V8, being the base RT motor, was almost as fast as the Hemi and a superior option for everyday driving on the streets. This occurs because the 440 Magnum engine generated torque at a lower RPM, which was better suited for use on regular streets. Moreover, the Hemi had two carburetors that were thirsty for fuel and harder to maintain compared to the 440 Magnum single 4-barrel carburetor. An upgraded suspension and a fresh rear configuration with a Dana 60 system and limited slip differential transformed it into a powerful drag racer. It could cover a quarter mile in just 13.5 seconds, making it one of the very quickest muscle cars of the 1960s. Number 3. The 1969 Plymouth GTX 440. 13.5 seconds. Up next is the mighty Plymouth GTX with the renowned 426 Ci Hemi V8 engine, just like its Charger sibling, generating 425 horsepower. The specialized suspension components designed for Hemi models were installed on the GTX to transfer power from the dual 4-barrel carburetor engine to the road. After pairing the GTX Hemi with an essential limited slip differential, it was able to finish a quarter mile in only 13.5 seconds. The GTX ranks higher than the Charger in 2024 because it is valued slightly higher, with the former being worth $217,000 and the latter being worth $212,000, according to Haggerty's valuation tool. Number 2. The 1969 Chevrolet Camaro ZL1, 13.2 seconds. The 1969 Chevrolet Camaro ZL1 was a unique type of car. The 427 Ci ZL1 V8 made 430 horsepower and 450 pound-feet of torque after being developed in the Can-Am Racing Series. And because it was made of aluminum, the Camaro ZL1 weighed approximately the same as an iron small block engine. The Camaro ZL1 was quite adept on the drag strip due to the lighter weight, stickier tires, limited slip differential, and heavy-duty suspension. It covers the quarter mile in a swift 13.2 seconds, outperforming many other muscle car competitors from that era. But while it outran most, one kept it from claiming total supremacy. Number 1. The 1969 Plymouth Roadrunner A12, 13.0 seconds. Claiming the title of the fastest muscle car of the 1960s is the ultra-rare and highly coveted 1969 Plymouth Roadrunner A12. Equipped with a modified 440 Ci 6-pack engine featuring chrome intake, flat-face hydraulic tappets, and valve springs from the 426 Hemi, the vehicle produced 390 horsepower. The A12 received more upgrades, like a 4.10-to-1 ratio rear axle with limited slip differential, stronger suspension, and wide 15-inch Goodyear tires for better grip. The upgrades were effective, as it was evident in the Roadrunner A12 achieving quarter-mile times of 13.0 seconds. This impressive speed makes it the quickest muscle car to complete the quarter mile in the 1960s, as long as you're willing to push the high-priced V8 engine to its limit. These beasts of the road still turn heads with their raw power and timeless style wherever they're seen. If you're ready to keep the excitement rolling, go ahead and hit that subscribe button to join us for more videos like this. And hey, give this video a like and share it with your fellow gearheads. They'll love it as much as you do. We'll see you next time.